Hello, my lovely peaches. This is part 3. Help! I'm still obsessed with my specific person. Help. I'm lighting my incense. I'm still wearing my love shirt. Huh. Yes, I am. And let's see, it is Sunday, October 6th. It's a very special day for someone. Today is a birthday of someone very, very special to me. Sweet, sweet, sweet person. And I want to make part 3 of this video, which is to work on helping coach myself out of obsessive thoughts of a specific person who's absent and into the vibrational connection of a specific person who I can envision and believe that they can be manifested in my physical world right now. There's nothing holding them back from me or me back from them, except that I'm stuck on something that isn't going to be it. Even if that specific person that you're obsessed with, let's just replace it for a moment, like a job that you're in, that you're obsessed with, that's really ill-fitting for your life, and even what you want to manifest for yourself. But yet you're convinced that whatever the vision of what you want, your wish fulfilled, you're convinced it's going to come through this job or this circumstance or, you know, this town or this city or this country that you're in, or like whatever it is that we get fixated on telling ourselves this external circumstance is going to be the fulfillment of my wishes. But then what do you do when it's not manifesting for you and you really want to manifest your wish, but the details of what you've decided must be involved are not interested or are not well suited? So I have talked about in some other videos how Mike Dooley says, Mike Dooley, author of Thoughts Become Things, talks about not getting caught up in the cursed hows, the who and the when and the exactly what. Focus on your why. Focus on, what are you trying to bring into your life? What thoughts do you want to bring into your life that you want to manifest? And when we get hung up on what people have to bring those things into fruition, into manifested reality, we get caught up and it can slow us down or even stop the manifestation. And I have said, yes, I think that's true. It will slow it down because you need to align with more things. And this is the version of the video where I say, you know what, it could actually halt it altogether if the person that you've decided must fulfill the role of your specific person in a romantic sense, if they, I gotta turn on the music, if they are an uncooperative component to your desired vision, then it is going to halt your manifestation from manifesting because you're trying to manifest something with uncooperative components. Now, I'm vegan, I don't eat food, but it's like a terrible analogy. If you put that lobster in the pot and it keeps jumping out and running away, I wish they could do that. Unfortunately, you overpower it and you tie it down or stuff, you hold it back from escaping and then you've killed it and you eat it. But if that's what you want to manifest with your romance, you want to literally tie their legs and arms down and drown them in a pot of boiling water and kill them and eat them up, then I guess you can do that. But yuck, like total yuck. You know, even if we're talking metaphysically, spiritually, you're going to, like Gay and Katie Hendricks use the term entanglement, not relationship. It's not a healthy relationship when one party is not actively desiring this. I mean, you can have an entanglement with two totally willing partners, but you can't even get to that level of circumstance with a person if they're truly unwilling. So this part 3 is going to be more coaching to heal, to move on, to give you some kind of grip, to a concept to grab onto that says this feels better. This feels better than that. So I'm gonna allow myself to let go of the thing that I'm obsessed with. I feel like it's right. It's got to be right. But the truth is, like I say in so many videos, other people also say, the way to get them back to you, or the way to get them forward to you, is the same exact way of getting over it. If there is true angels of love and light love connecting the two of you together, this is the ultimate truth that I keep coming back to for myself, which is to say, if I'm not wrong, if the dreams are not wrong, if I'm not just a physical, human, limited person that's limited in the imaginal world of what I can even imagine for myself, and so I keep overlaying this specific person into the vision, not because he's really truly the vibrational energy being that I think he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a vibrational energy being that has been telling me through dreams, visions, feelings, emotions, even what seems to be a bridge of circumstances creating a natural, organic bridge of circumstances creating rendezvous that, you know, I feel like, well, look at this, and this, all these experiences connecting, bringing us to this obvious point. Like today I saw in this law of attraction group, somebody posted, you know, the do's and the don'ts of manifesting, and one thing was like, oh, I'm so thankful for the thing that I received. That's the don't. And then the do was, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm so surprised the thing is here. And I'm like, actually, no, that was wrong. First of all, you don't want it to feel like an, oh my God, I can't believe it's surprise that the thing is manifesting or the person is manifesting. It needs to feel like I knew it. I already knew it. You know, that's something that Jasmine Advanced Manifesting Made Easy said, that I think I've fallen off her wagon already, because I'm like, well, I don't like her ultimate message of, you know, no one is really a personality, and ultimately everyone is you pushed out completely, and that they don't need to know it, you know it for them. And I don't like any of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, if I don't like your ultimate underlying message, I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of good stuff in there, but again, I don't believe that comes with also the ingredient that says, and you can control anyone. Me saying I knew it into being doesn't mean I knew you who didn't love me into being that you do, and now you do. What I knew into being was that I am worthy of being loved by someone who chooses me, and that there are people out there who would choose me on their own, that I would actually choose back. It's not like the only kind of guy out there that would choose me is someone I wouldn't want, because that's a limiting belief that doesn't help either. Any limiting belief doesn't help you. I don't personally think it's a limiting belief to say, you who doesn't want me, I shouldn't want you back. I don't think that's limiting. Or I think some limiting beliefs help you. Like, I won't eat animals. I won't eat any creature. That's a limiting belief, but it's aligned and it resonates with my values. I won't have sex with men that I'm not actually in a real relationship with, that's monogamous, exclusive, that's mutually discussed and agreed upon, that this is what we want, a real vision of life. I don't want to have sex with someone outside of that boundary. That's a limit that I'm putting on myself that is aligned with what I care about. So limits in and of themselves, and limited thinking is not inherently negative. Actually, it can be inherently helpful. If I limit thoughts of, I'm only going to allow myself to fantasize about the feeling of the wish fulfilled with a partner who wants me back. So could I imagine this specific person wanting me back and go into the feeling of the wish fulfilled? If you can somehow magically get into that feeling of the wish fulfilled with that specific person who doesn't want you, and then when you come out of the feeling of the wish fulfilled back to your present reality, can you actually hold feeling positive without succumbing to the sadness of the reality that, but they don't really want that? Now, if you can do that and you maintain that, will they come back to you even if they don't want you? I don't know. I personally don't think that that's even healthy. I think that's what's healthier is for you to say, in order for me to feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, they have to want me too. Like, that has to inherently be in there. So, okay, maybe I'll imagine your face in there. I like your face and your body. I might imagine that it looks like you, but ultimately it has to be someone who wants you. It has to be. If you really want that, like if what you really want is to continue to stay alone, then it doesn't have to be someone who wants you. It's probably better for you if they don't want you, because then you get to experience all the feelings, but there's no risk. There's no chance, but there's no risk of you having to actually get intimate for real in the real physical world with a real physical person. So ironically, or funny enough, I did hold a belief. I would say it was years. I mean, part of how I got through my relationship with Hart, who I loved so much, but I truly wanted to manifest a relationship that would lead to our marriage and our happy ever after as a family that was committed and devoted, a husband and a wife with kids and a beautiful life together, and all the art and the music and the dancing and all the fun stuff that I want to create. And the more I was in physical relationship with him for real, the more the idea of that vision that I have for myself, which I still have, the more I had to disassociate from it and just let it be a fantasy that I was aware of, but I was aware that this is a fantasy that's not going to manifest in my physical realm, because I've chosen to be with a specific person who doesn't want that. So the only way I can even really relate to it is by it being a disassociated fantasy, not something that I can actually have in my real. Now, of course, what I didn't realize at the time was that the only reason I was able to maintain an idea that I could disassociate from that fantasy was because I didn't have the feeling of self-worth in myself, that I deserved to have that not just be a fantasy, but an actual reality. And what happened in my real life was that when Hart and I truly broke up, like when I knew for real, when my physical being knew for real, it's over. We're not going to be each other's specific person in that way anymore. I was tsunami flooded with dreams of Val, intense sex, marriage, getting pregnant, like literally could see the sperm and the egg and the like having the baby, being together, like dreams, like relentless night after night for a couple of months until I finally reached out to him in the physical world. And like I said, I have been met with a man who is mostly totally resistant. But what happened was that one day, trying to remember exactly when this was. It wasn't the first time he came into my apartment, but one of the first. I mean, he's been into this specific apartment. The last time he was physically here was like a month ago. Actually, a month ago to the day. He didn't ring the bell or come in. He just left his cell phone in my mailbox. That flip phone that I've been borrowing with all his family and all his friends and all his work people from 2015 in there. And he entrusted it to me to use for my personal use until I can get a new one. But this particular day, I think it might have been in 2017, he walked into my house and he stood right here in that doorway, and I felt that belief that a fantasy is better than a real person, that I'm never going to have my real person in that way, that it's only a fantasy. It shattered into oblivion instantaneously in this magical, like, it was like his energy came in and just shattered my mind paradigm. Like he literally, without doing anything other than just physically standing there, eradicated that ability for me to even hold on to the belief. Like it was gone. And I was just like, holy motherfuck fuck. What is this? So I say thank you for being a catalyst. Thank you for being a springboard for growth. Thank you for letting me believe in myself that I could even want that in the real world with a real person. Thank you for giving me the clarity that you don't see yourself as that person. Thank you for giving me the clarity that I deserve that. I deserve the person who's standing there looking at me thinking like, oh my God, she just shattered any belief that I ever held that I was not going to be someone's husband. Or, maybe they didn't even have that belief. Maybe they just didn't know who it was going to be. And then I suddenly just like, it just lets them know like, oh my God, you're my person. So I want to read the things that I've written. Respect everybody's specific person's genuine uniqueness. Trust. The trust in them is the most collaborative co-creation of deliberate love that we can co-create when we trust that they know what they want. They know what they're capable of. They know what they want to do in their lives. They might have all those amazing ingredients that you foresee in your recipe for love, but they might not be willing to give those ingredients to you in the way that you need and want in order for it to manifest into the cake you want to bake. Now I'm saying just because they have all those ingredients in them doesn't mean that means that they are going to be willing, cooperative, collaborative partner. They have to say that they are. They have to say, hey, I have all these ingredients and I'm bringing them to the table to mix and match and mingle with you and bake our wedding cake of love for real. Your specific person has a right and a will to choose. Just as you have a right and a will to choose, you have the right and the will and the desire to be the deliberate creator, the deliberate chooser of your own choices. It feels orgasmically, climactically, amazingly wonderful, satiating to be the person who gets to chew your own food. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody was like, oh, let me chew that for you. Nah, man. I don't want you to chew my food up for me and then put it in my mouth all digested. I'm not a frickin' baby bird. I want to be the chomp downerer. I want to be... And that's how it feels when you get to be the chooser, when you get to feel inside yourself that you've chosen this specific person because you want to. and then they are choosing you back because they want to, that's freaking magic making right there. It's not magic making when you choose them and they don't choose you, and you somehow manipulate them into a relationship with you. And now they're like, what the fuck? How did I get up entangled in this person's freaking spider web? I don't even want to be here. And then you're like, I manifested you, but it doesn't feel happy. I wonder why. So actually loving someone, me defining myself as a love architect, a love definer, a love gardener, a love nurturer, a love designer, a love cartographer. I'm going to check I'm using that word right.
Cartographer. Cartographer.
Cartographer, a person who draws or produces maps. I am a love cartographer. I map out what love means. You can manifest sloppy shit. You can have lack of love ingredients in there, and lack of confidence, and insecurity, and doubt, and mistrust, and disbelief. And you can mix all that crap up in there and tell yourself that that's love. But what I'm saying is, I am defining love to be something that's good, feels good, only good. Anything that doesn't feel good is a lack of love or a lack of alignment with what really is. So either your lack of loving someone, or your lack of loving the situation, or you're just not in alignment with the truth. Now, like I've said before, I think having visions and fantasies and dreams and wishes and desires that are outside what you see in your physical evidence, that is the gift of being a creator. Being a manifester means you can envision something that isn't here in front of you now, and then you can take the inspired actions that lead you to your bridge of circumstances that create the path that makes this thing real. But in order for you to magically manifest specifically romantic love, in my opinion and my definition of love, healthy love with a healthy person, is that they have to want you too, and they have to be willing, and they have to be deliberately offering their ingredients up to put into the bowl to mix up to bake into this cake you're going to eat together. Right? It's like if you went to the supermarket and you start trying to snatch ingredients out of other people's carts, they're not going to be happy with that. They're not going to be like, oh my God, look at this delicious cake that you just made with all my snatched up ingredients that I didn't want to give you. And now you're trying to force feed me this cake. Like, ooh, look at this cake we manifested together. No, motherfucker, you stole shit I didn't want to give you, and now you're trying to force feed me the results of it, telling me, look at how our love is so amazing. Look at how sweet our love is. I'm going to force feed you this thing that I manifested without your consent. And then I'm going to get pissed at you or mad or heartbroken when you don't want it. Nah, I don't like that cake that you made without my permission and without my consent, that I'm not into. Or even let's say the person was, maybe they were all up in that cake. Maybe they added every ingredient that you put into that cake willingly, and then when it was all baked and they took a bite, they were like, oh, fuck, it doesn't taste the way I imagined it. Oh shit, dog. I've been building this cake for 5 years with you, and I took a bite, and I can't eat this cake every day. It was great building with you. You just got me to a whole nother level. If I hadn't done this with you, I might not have ever known I could do these things, but I don't want this cake that we made together. And now you're sitting here with your rotten ass yesterday's cake, last year's cake, 10 years ago cake, and you're like, but it was so good. Except for the fact that they left your ass and they don't want it. So was it really so good? Specific person gets to choose, not you. You deserve a specific person who specifically chooses you in their own choosing of choice, in their own awareness, in their own ability to choose. If you love someone, that means that you respect that they know what they like and what they don't like, and that you respect their choices. Their tastes and their preferences matter to you, because that's part of loving someone, even if what they like and want is not what you like and want, and even if what they like and want is stuff you don't like my son likes mushrooms. I find them disgusting to eat. I feel like they're little creatures, like, I don't know, they just are too alive for me. I can't eat them, but he loves them. So the other day I bought some. I was like, I'm at the store, he's not with me, and just buying him mushrooms made me feel connected to loving him. Like, every time we go buy the mushrooms, he asks. I've only bought them like once or twice. I sort of don't even like having them in my house, but they're vegan. So as an act of love, I bought him something that I kind of detest. Like, they literally make me vomit. But I didn't buy them for me. I bought them to say, hey, I love you, specific person who's different than me, who has different tastes than me, and helping you enjoy something you love, even if I don't. To me, that's love. Now, me eating mushrooms when I hate them, I don't feel that that's love. And you expecting me to eat mushrooms or onions when I hate them, I don't think that that's love either. I think what's love is, hey, you love onions? Great, eat onions. I'll grow some fucking onions for you in the garden. You don't like onions? Okay, I'm going to pick out the onions. If there's any onions in your dish, I'm going to pick them out. I'm going to serve you your section before I put the onions in. Like, my son loves when I make soup, but he doesn't like the spinach. So I make the soup, I serve him his portion, then I add the spinach. You know, because I like to love people the way they want to be loved. So truly loving a person includes, oh, you don't want me that way? Well, I love you enough to respect that. I love you so much that I respect what you want and what you don't want, including if that's me. So I know the best way to love you is to leave you alone, to stop trying to send you thought transmissions. Stop trying to send you thought messages, thought vibrations, thought sensations, love sensations. Now, if I do think of you, I can just feel love, 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 release. I love you, but I don't want to think of you. Like my friend Star said yesterday, she went through a shift where she felt like she was sort of trying to force a manifestation with some specific person. And then all of a sudden she shifted into feeling like, wait. I feel like something's happening and I don't want it to. Now I want to try to force it out of my thought realm. Like, I don't want to think about this. I want to force myself to stop thinking about this. And sometimes you need to do that because that's what you need to do. You know, if you stop thinking about someone and they're meant to be with you, you're not thinking about them is not going to make them stop loving you or being right for you. And if thoughts really are transmitted, which I do believe they can be, I believe you can try, they can receive it or reject it. But I do believe that if you stop channeling thoughts transmissions to this person, even if it's just like tip, 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 and they don't know what the fuck it is or who it's coming from or what it says, but they just even feel like a little like in their energy, they might feel that go away. But if they're really right for you, they're not going to just like stop loving you. They're not going to forget about you. Have you forgotten about somebody that you love who you haven't heard from in a long ass time? No. You don't forget about people. There could be people that you love and it's just circumstances. Maybe it's a platonic friend. Like I have this guy I met he was working at the store, and I used to see him a lot because he worked there. And I really like him. I consider him like an actual friend that I want to have in my life as a friend. But now he doesn't work there anymore, so I haven't seen him. And I kind of miss him. And I sent him a note, and, you know, I'd like to see him. I'm not going to just forget about him. Time might go by, and I might, like, kind of, he might come, you know, he wasn't, like, a close person, so the chances that my awareness of him might fade is high, but I'm not going to forget about him altogether. And if I see him again, it's going to be amazing, you know, and I might actually try to get together with him in real life, you know, like, but if somehow we don't, you know, you don't forget people you love. And if the person is like truly right for you to be your true spouse, you're really not going to forget them. So let's respect everyone's unique, individuated, specific self, wherever they are right now, what they're able, capable, and willing and desiring to do, how they want to show up, and what they want to live as, and not try to force what we want on them. And not try to tell ourselves that love isn't there for us because our specific person isn't willing. Because love is there for you. You have to just allow yourself to let it come through someone else. It's not scary to be loved by someone who loves you. If they're aligned with you in all of the ways, all the pillars and the columns of love that matter to you, then you will be so attracted to them. You're not going to have to make do with someone that is not attractive to you, but they're magically lit up in all the ways that you want. If it's really vibrationally there, you're going to be attracted to them because you'll be attracted to them. Put your idea or your vision of your life with them out of your primary focus. But you don't have to put your vision or idea of a life with a loved one out of your focus. That's what I'm saying. Separate it. Allow the vision to exist apart from the specific person so that you can feed into your vision, feeling good, into the feeling of the wish fulfilled without that heartbreak of, oh, except they don't want it. Because you're going to imagine the person that does want it. Even if you don't know what they look like exactly, that's okay. Just sort of imagine something that feels good. Want to want better. Want to be wanted back. Want to want love that loves you back. I'm reading off my notes. That's why I keep looking down. Loving thoughts cake plus the ingredients. What are loving thoughts cake that you could make for yourself? If you're over here sad saying, please help me stop being obsessed with a specific person who doesn't love me back that way, or doesn't even just want me that way, or maybe they love me that way and they want me that way, but for whatever reason they've chosen another path and they're not here. What are the loving thoughts cake that you could bake? Plus, what are the ingredients that would go into that? I deserve to be loved by someone who there is no other relationship, there is no work, there is no addiction, there is no fucked up childhood situation, there is no block, there is no circumstance or third party that would ever be enough to keep them away from me, and I deserve that. I feel that way about them, but I deserve to equally be felt. I deserve to equally have my specific person feel that way about me and show me through their actions on a daily basis. I deserve to eat fresh cake every day. What if I created a boundary for myself that says I will only define in loveness, love, romantic love, specific person love as something I feel for someone who gives me fresh cake every day. Fresh love cake. I'm not going to base my feelings of in loveness with you towards this vision only based on yesterday's cake. It's like yesterday I made soup. Well, actually the day before I made soup. Actually, there is still some left over. So this is a perfect example. If you made me some love cake yesterday and it was such good love cake that there's actual pieces of it left over and I can eat those today, then I will eat them. I will. If it lasts 2 days where I have, like, you made me something and I'm still benefiting, it's still fresh, it's still something real that I'm actually experiencing, I'll eat it. But once it's all eaten and gone, you have to be there investing, making fresh love cake again. Like, it has to be, you know, like if you were going to hire a baker and he was like, oh, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make you some fresh bread. It's going to be delicious. And you're like, awesome. And he comes in and he makes you like 10 loaves and you're like, yummy. And you eat it. And like a few days go by and you're like, yummy, this is the best baker. And I'm eating the bread. And then guess what? The bread's all eaten and he doesn't come back. He doesn't come back and you're just going to keep eating the memory of that baked bread, telling yourself, oh my God, that was the best bread I ever had, and that was the best love I could ever make. And, you know, nobody ever came and made bread for me like that before. And then you get fixated on that instead of realizing, but he ain't here making you fresh bread today, so what the fuck? You can't eat yesterday's eaten up bread today. You can't eat yesterday's love that you made yesterday with somebody else. Today, if there's none left and they're not here actively making it with you, okay, Claire, okay, Claire, okay, person who's watching this, whatever your name is, everybody out there, if they're not actively making fresh baked love cake with you today, or salad if you're watching, you know, your waistline or whatever, if you want to be healthy, the love salad, the love garden that you're making. If you say to somebody, hey, let's build a garden together, every day, all year round, there's this or that or something to do with it. Even if it's just sometimes to just sit in it quietly together. But if they're never there and they're never nurturing, this is what I'm saying, to be a love architect and a love gardener means I'm going to have the idea, I'm going to then draft it out. I'm going to draw out my idea. I'm going to design it and plan it and draw it, and then I'm going to blueprint it out, and then I'm going to build it, and I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to plant the seeds, and I'm going to weed out the things that are hindering our growth, and I'm going to add to it and keep on building to it. But the moment you step out and you walk away and you're like, I'm not coming back again, it shifts from something that once was, you know, from something that is. So if you're still obsessed with your specific person, allow yourself to say, is this love or obsession? How do I know? Am I in my own best interest? Am I in my best interest? Am I acting in my best interest? Thinking in my best interest? Am I wanting in my best interest? Am I behaving in my best interest? Am I imagining in my best interest? And what about in their best interest? If they've said, I'm leaving, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, I'm not aligned with this, this isn't what I feel, this isn't what feels real to me, I'm not set up internally or externally for this, I'm not ready for this, I'm not prepared for this, I don't want this, I can't do this, I'm not good for you, this isn't what I want. Whatever. Every and any excuse or reason that they have is their reason, it's their right. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it's true or not, whether it feels real to you or not, whether it feels like a made-up thing that they told you to get out of there because they didn't want to tell you the truth, or they don't know what the fuck, whether they say, I have absolutely zero reasons. I have a blank slate. I ghosted you because I have literally nothing to say to you about why. I'm just not there. And are you acting in your own best interest or in theirs by trying to continue your focused attention there? And then I had this very good thought The specific person is actually just as invisible and absent as this specific vibrational energy being that I'm talking about connecting to. That specific person that feels so real, I know your name, I know where you live, I've been with you, I've made love to you, I've kissed you, I've been in your arms. I've had a whole relationship with you. I had a whole friendship with you. We've done this. I have all these memories. I have all this physical evidence. Well, even it's not really physical though, is it? It's not. It was yesterday's cake. Where's your physical evidence of yesterday's cake that you ate? You're going to show me the bowls? You're going to show me the ingredients that you made? Oh, they're gone? No, you have more? Oh, okay, so where's the cake? Because either you got just a bunch of ingredients and you're telling me about yesterday's cake and you're trying to feed me yesterday's cake as a memory and you're like, look, I got all the ingredients. Okay, well, let's bake it together. Because otherwise you're playing yourself. You're playing yourself thinking that you're going to make that cake again, just thinking about yesterday's cake. And all those ingredients are sitting on the table, going nowhere because they are not manifesting themselves into this cake. Because the person who you're trying to make the cake with is not there. They're invisible. So the idea they're invisible because they're not in your physical experience. They're not really invisible. They're walking around. But just like that, so is the vibrational energy being that I'm asking myself, along with you, to get into the living and the feeling of the wish fulfilled of this love that is so beautiful. Get into the vibrational energy of that being. You don't see them. They seem invisible. But so is the specific person who's not present. They're just as invisible. So why focus on a specific person who's invisible at the moment, who doesn't want you, when you can imagine a physical person who's invisible at the moment who does want you? And feel into that. Channel that energy into your vision. Instead of channeling the energy of the specific person that doesn't want you into your vision, and then the vision is just like, it hurts because it's not viable. This is not, I cannot. It's like even if you mixed every ingredient perfectly together and you put them in the pan and you stick it in the oven, if the motherfucking oven won't turn on, you're not baking a cake. So either you're going to eat cold cake and tell yourself, this is my vision, or you're going to find an oven that works, which means specific person who wants to light up your goddamn cake and cook it and eat it with you. The absent person is invisible. The specific person is invisible. Your vibrational energetic being, your vibrational angel of love and light, they are invisible. So focus into the feeling and the vibration of the one that loves you instead of the one that doesn't love you. And allow yourself to reach for a better feeling in your vision with that energy vibration, lighting it up. Being a love architect, now I know why to fix this. Because I want to actually, I don't want to be an architect who just draws all day, all night. I just create designs and designs and designs of love and then never actually bring them to a builder and have them built. Never actually get to stand there in my own manifested creation. Never actually plant the seeds in my garden and see them grow and then eat the fruits and the veggies that I created. Of course, I want the real thing. Don't lose your vision. Don't give up your vision. Just grow it. Make it a better vision. Make it a happier, happy vision. Make it a vision that says, this vision is delicious and beautiful. The reason I feel sadness is because I really want the vision. And I can stop feeling sad when I stop trying to force someone who doesn't want to be the gardener architect with me in my vision and start allowing myself to believe that I do actually deserve that willing partner, that I am actually good enough of a partner to actually deliberately co-create that actual vision that I have. It's not just a fantasy that can't manifest. specific person shattered the idea that a fantasy was good enough. And now some other specific person is going to manifest. Here's another nugget that I just thought of. Last thing. Even if that physical person that I think must be connected to the vibrational energy spouse being, he would literally have to change. In order for him to become the person willing to be with me, he would have to change his physical self. Yeah, he might still primarily be the same person, just as me shifting my physical self. The person that I was that said I don't deserve to be loved, I'm shifting and I'm literally becoming a different person. That's not even the same specific person anymore that I used to be, because now I'm believing in love for myself. So just like that, maybe that specific person is going to shift and become an actual different specific person. But that has to come from within him, from his own alignment. So I am connecting to my vibrational energy being spouse person, my vibrational angel of love and light spouse person who lives in the vision that I can feel. I can feel it in my gut, as real as anything. But I'm going to connect to him and it vibrationally. And I'm going to just keep feeding into the belief that says, you're worth it. You are. And you're going to manifest it better with an oven that works, with a partner who's like, yep, I got my tools, I got my plans, I got the blueprints, I got the time, baby. I'm making time. I am carving out time with your name on it, because it's a delicious way to spend my time with you. And I deserve that, and so do you. So I hope you find this series of help. I'm still obsessed with my specific person helpful. I feel better. And now I have some videos to watch. When I'm feeling sad and funky dunky and lonely, I have a series of videos to help me through it. And every time you feel sad and lonely and funky dunky, watch these. And hopefully you'll feel better about your ability to manifest love. Just remember, there's billions of people out there. There's dozens of people who would step forward and take a chance, try on love with you. Isn't that what it's all about? We're just trying it on. Some people fit and some people don't. And that's okay. They have that right, and so do you. See you next time.